Hello, and welcome to Daily Inspired, the channel where we share inspiring stories and wisdom from different cultures and traditions. In today's video, we are going to tell you the amazing story of a young monk who went on a quest to find the Lotus Sutra, the most important and profound scripture of Buddhism. The Lotus Sutra contains the final and complete teachings of Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. It reveals the true nature of all things and the way to attain enlightenment and happiness. But the Lotus Sutra is very rare and precious. Only a few copies exist in the world, and they are kept in secret places. One of these places is a cave near Dunhuang, in northwest China. The cave is part of a collection of thousands of documents, paintings, and artifacts that have been stored there for centuries. The cave is also guarded by a fierce dragon, and no one has ever entered the cave and returned alive. But one day, a young monk heard a rumor about the hidden scroll of the Lotus Sutra in the cave. He was very curious and excited. He thought that this was his chance to see the Lotus Sutra and learn from it. He decided to go to Dunhuang and look for the cave. He packed his belongings and set off on his journey. What happened next is a story of adventure, danger, courage, wisdom, and compassion. A story that will inspire you and touch your heart. A story that will show you the power of faith and the beauty of friendship. A story that will reveal to you the secrets of the Lotus Sutra. Are you ready to hear it? Then stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. The monk travels across mountains, rivers, deserts, and forests. He faces many dangers and hardships. He meets bandits, wild animals, storms, and diseases. He also meets many people along the way. Some of them are kind and helpful, and some of them are cruel and greedy. The monk learns a lot from his experiences. He learns to be brave, patient, humble, and generous. He also learns to be careful, alert, wise, and compassionate. He practices the Buddha's teachings in his daily life, and he shares them with others. He makes many friends and followers, and he also makes some enemies and rivals. The monk finally reaches Dunhuang. He asks the local people about the cave and the scroll. Some of them say that they have never heard of such a thing. Some of them say that they have heard of it, but they do not know where it is. Some of them say that they know where it is, but they warn him not to go there. They say that the cave is cursed, and that the dragon is real and deadly. They say that many people have tried to enter the cave, but none of them have come back. They say that the monk is foolish and reckless, and that he will surely die if he goes there. The monk thanks them for their advice, but he does not listen to them. He is determined to find the cave and the scroll. He believes that the Lotus Sutra is worth any risk, and that the Buddha will protect him. The monk searches for the cave for many days. He follows the clues and directions that he has gathered from various sources. He explores the mountains and valleys around Dunhuang. He encounters many difficulties and dangers. He has to climb steep cliffs, cross narrow bridges, avoid traps and pitfalls, and escape from hostile people and animals. He also has to deal with hunger, thirst, cold, heat, fatigue, and loneliness. He does not give up, though. He keeps going, with faith and courage. The monk finally finds the cave. It is hidden in a remote and rocky area. It has a small and dark entrance, covered by bushes and vines. The monk approaches the entrance with caution. He can feel a strange and powerful energy coming from the cave. He can also hear a low and menacing growl from inside. He knows that it is the dragon. He is afraid, but he is also curious and eager. He takes a deep breath and enters the cave. The cave is dark and damp. The monk cannot see anything. He uses his hands to feel his way. He walks slowly and carefully, trying not to make any noise. He can hear the dragon's breathing and movements. He can also smell its foul and fiery breath. He knows that the dragon is aware of his presence and that it is waiting for him. He does not know where the scroll is or how to get it. He does not have a plan or a weapon. He only has his faith and his wish. He walks for a long time until he reaches a large and open space. He can see a faint light coming from the ceiling. He looks up and sees a hole in the rock. He realizes that it is the source of the light. He also realizes that it is the source of the energy. He feels a strong and warm sensation in his heart. He knows that he has found the scroll. He looks around and sees a pile of treasure in the center of the space. He sees gold, silver, jewels, silk, weapons, statues, paintings, and many other valuable and beautiful things. He also sees the scroll. It is on top of the pile, wrapped in a cloth. It is glowing with a soft and pure light. It is the Lotus Sutra. The monk is overjoyed. He has finally reached his goal. He has finally seen the Lotus Sutra. He wants to touch it and read it. He wants to learn from it and benefit from it. He wants to share it and spread it. He takes a step towards the pile and reaches out his hand. Suddenly, he hears a loud and angry roar. He turns around and sees the dragon. It is huge and terrifying. It has scales, claws, teeth, horns, wings, and a tail. It has eyes, nostrils, ears, and a mouth. It has fire, smoke, steam, and sparks. It is the guardian of the cave and the keeper of the scroll. It is the enemy of the monk and the obstacle of his wish. The dragon charges at the monk with fury and speed. It opens its mouth and breathes out a stream of fire. It aims at the monk and tries to burn him. The monk dodges the fire and runs to the side. He looks for a place to hide or a way to escape. He does not find any. He is trapped in the cave with the dragon. He has no choice but to face it and fight it. The monk and the dragon fight for a long time. The dragon attacks the monk with its fire, claws, teeth, horns, wings, and tail. The monk defends himself with his hands, feet, head, body, and clothes. The dragon tries to kill the monk and protect the scroll. The monk tries to survive and get the scroll. The cave is filled with noise, heat, light, and smoke. The treasure is scattered, damaged, and destroyed. The scroll is untouched, unharmed, and unchanged. The monk is tired, wounded, and bleeding. He has many burns, cuts, bruises, and fractures. He has lost his hair, his clothes, and his belongings. He has nothing left except his life, his faith, and his wish. He does not give up, though. He keeps fighting with determination and courage. The dragon is also tired, wounded, and bleeding. It has many scars, cracks, holes, and dents. It has lost its scales, its claws, its teeth, its horns, and its wings. It has nothing left except its fire, its smoke, and its scroll. It does not give up either. It keeps fighting with anger and pride. The monk and the dragon fight until they have no strength left. They fall to the ground, exhausted and weak. They look at each other with respect and curiosity. They realize that they have met their match. They realize that they have something in common. They realize that they have learned something from each other. The monk speaks to the dragon with a soft and calm voice. He says, "You are a great and noble creature. You have guarded this cave and this scroll for a long time. You have done your duty well. You have shown me your power and your skill.